Hey viewers, Michael Warren here from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn 10 more easy guitar songs using 3 chords, E, A and D. Now make sure you've done part 5, I'll put a link in the description where we learn how to play the E minor, the E and the A chords, all the tips and tricks you need, and 10 songs using the E and the A, so just 2 chords. Now if you already know these chords, you can jump ahead to this time for the songs. Don't forget, if you like this lesson, to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Songs and lessons uploaded weekly. If you have any problems with the song, please let me know. So before we learn the D chord, we'll quickly run over what we've learnt last lesson. We did our E minor, our E and our A chords, and the tips. So we don't have to have our wrist down to play these chords, it can be up. We don't want our thumb off to the side. Now it can come over the top of the neck and that's completely fine. We just don't want it off to the side, and we don't want to be touching the top E string with that either. We don't want the rest of our fingers sticking out, so when I'm playing the chord we want them fairly close to the fretboard, or as close as we can. We want to be on the tips of our fingers, so the way to do that is move your whole hand forward, so we're right on the tips of our fingers, so we're not muting the other strings when we're playing it. And to stop the buzz, we want to be as close to the front of the fret as we can get with each chord, or we may need to push a little bit harder and that'll stop the buzz. Now the most important thing is to do it the same way every single time, so we're putting the same fingers down in the same order every time we do the chord. Then over time we'll be placing them on at the same time each finger, but the best way to start is do it the same way every single time, and this is for every single new chord you'll learn. Okay, so let's learn the D chord. So the D chord, we're going to start with our second finger on the second fret on the E string, then our first finger on the second fret also, but this time on the G string, so 3 up from the bottom, and then our third finger on the third fret, this time on the B string. Now I find that's the easiest way for most people. If you want to put your fingers down in a different order, that is fine as well. Now when we strum that, we don't strum all the strings. We don't play the E and the A strings, the top 2 strings. We just play the D string open and then the rest of the strings. So we're only playing the D, G, B and E string. Now that can be tricky when you first start. Remember, all our tips get on the tips of your fingers. Wrist doesn't have to be down here, and we want our thumb fairly straight. We don't want it off to the sides. You can bend it, but don't touch the top E string there. So that can be a little tricky with the strumming at first. So if you do hit the E or the A string, don't worry too much. Just be aware of it and try and change that as you go. Now you want to practice this the same way we practice the other chords. Get the shape, do it the same way every single time. Strum 4 times, hand off, get the shape again, strum 4 times and keep doing that there. It's the same way we did the E minor, the E and the A, and you can practice all of those. So E minor 4 times, hand off, E 4 times, hand off, A 4 times, hand off and D 4 times there. When you feel comfortable doing that, try and join them all together. So just 4 strums on each. E minor to the E to the A and then to the D. And try that in different orders. You might start with the D, 4 strums, then go to the E, then the A, and then the E minor. So try it different ways, as many different ways you can play it. You'll start to pick it up quicker and quicker. Now there isn't an easy way to change between these chords. There was an easy way when we did the E to the A. We just lifted up our first finger, put our 2 fingers down and added our little finger to get from E to A, and vice versa, going from A to E. D, there isn't any real trick to it. You'll just pick it up the more you play it. That'll just start to get quicker and quicker if you're doing it the same each time. We also had our strumming pattern, which was just our down, down, up, up, down, up. Now if you're still finding that too tricky, you can just do a strum on each beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then changing to the next chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you feel comfortable with that, you can add the strumming pattern in. Now the last thing we did in part 5 was learning how to push the chords so we can make the chord changes quicker. So that way we just keep strumming with our right hand, we don't stop, and we try and get to the chord a little bit quicker. So if I was going to E to D, 2, 3, don't stop strumming, and just go straight to the D. Now you might be on it yet, but keep strumming until you get it. So you might have to strum it for 2 or 3 bars, and then go to the A and do the same thing, don't stop strumming. And that'll break that habit of putting that pause in between each chord there, and it'll start to force you to go a little bit quicker onto the chords as well. So now that we know the D chord, we know the E minor, the E and the A, let's have a look at some songs we can use to practice those chords. So let's start with All Shook Up by Elvis Presley. We're going to put the capo on the 1st fret. So similar to part 5, we just move all the chords up now 1 fret. We play them exactly the same because we've got our capo on the 1st fret. So our intro is just going to be A, and we're going to do that for 4 bars just with our strumming pattern. So down, down, up, down, up. 3rd bar, 4th bar. And that's the intro, nice and easy. Then we have our verse. And we're going to do A, so we're staying on the same chord, but we're going to do it for 6 bars. Then on the 7th bar, we're just going to play it once and hold for another 2 bars. Let's do that now. 6 bars, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put the first drum on the 7th bar, number 1 beat, and we're going to stop it and hold it. So we're just putting our hand on the strings and count for 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to D, so you got lots of time to get used to that D there. 1 bar, E 1 bar, and back to A for 2 bars. And that's our verse there, so let me play that through for you, starting on the A, 6 bars, stop on the 7th bar. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. E and A, 2 bars. And that's our verse, and we just play that through all the way again. So you've finished on the A for 2 bars, and then we stay on the A and we do that for another 6 bars, and then our stop for 2 bars. Then the chorus is just D for 2 bars, A for 2 bars, D for 2 bars, and then we go to the E, we just play that once and hold for 2 bars and stop the strings. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's our chorus there. Remember, you can just do it all down strums if you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me play that chorus for you now up to speed. Starting on the D for 2 bars. And then from there we just go back to the verse and we do that exactly the same, then the chorus again, and then the verse again, and then we finish the song with D for a bar, E for a bar, and A for 2 bars. And you can just do it down, up, down there to finish. So that last little part now starting on D, E, so that's the whole song, not too hard, just using the A, D and E chord, and try and remember when you're doing that D chord and the strumming not to hit the E and the A string. Don't worry too much when you're first starting out, just be aware that you're doing and try and stop that. So now let's try Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley in the comments. Okay, so this time we have no capo, we're going to start on the A and we're going to do an up, down, down, and then stop it, so up, down, down. And we do that 3 times. Up, down, down. Up, down, down. Up, down, down. And then we just go to our E chord and we're just going to do down strums 4 times. So 1, and stop it after each strum down. 2, 3, 4. So let me do that for you. That can be a little bit tricky. Then we just go to our A, and we're going to do 4 bars of our A, same strumming pattern as before, down, down, up, down, up. 2, 3, 4. Then we just go to D, and we do that for 2 bars. Back to our A for 2 bars. E for 2 bars. And back to A for 2 bars. And we just keep repeating that over and over again, and that's the whole song. We don't do the A, E at the start. So let me play that for you up to speed, not too hard. Third, D, 2 bars. A, E, 2 bars. Going back to the A for 4 bars, and we just keep repeating that over and over again. Now if you're finding that too quick, you can slow all these songs right down and just A, and just use them as exercises instead of playing along with the song. D, back to the A. And at first you're going to have a gap between the chords, and that's okay. Remember, we want to try and get that out over time. Okay, so let's try Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers. Now this one we're going to have a 2 count. So when we do the 2 count, we're just going to do a down, down, up. So down, down, up. And that's a 2 count or half a bar. Down, down, up. So we're going to start on the D, and we're going to do that for a bar. Again, no capo on this one. And 1 bar on the D with our normal pattern. A, 1 bar. D, 1 bar. A for 1 bar. D for 1 bar. Now this is what we're going to do. A for a bar and then a half a bar. So down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. E for half a bar, down, down, up. And then A for a bar. And we're going to do that through 2 times there. And then to finish that off, we're going to do A for half a bar, so down, down, up. E for half a bar, down, down, up. A for a bar. And then do another bar, but we're just doing the strum and stopping that there and holding it for a bar. So that's a little bit more confusing. We've got these half bars in there with our down, down, up. So let me play that through for you. This is the chorus. It starts and just the chorus end with the A, half a bar, E, half a bar, A for a bar, and then 1 strum and hold for a bar. So let's try that now. So I only played that chorus through once instead of 2 times. And then from there we have our verse, and we're going to do E for 2 bars. A for 2 bars. E for 2 bars. A for 2 bars. D for 2 bars. And then we do E. This time we're going to do it for 4 bars. 2, 3, 4. And then A for 2 bars. And that's our verse. Let me play that for you. Remember, you can still have gaps in between your chords, and that's completely fine. And you will when you first start. Hopefully you've done enough practice on part 5. The E and the A should be a fairly easy change now, and we've just got that change to the D, which we can have a little gap in. So let's try the verse now, starting on the E. A, E, And then from there we just go back to the chorus with our chorus end, back to the verse again, which we just did, back to the chorus. Now this time we don't have the chorus end on it, we're going to change it a little bit. We're just going to do A for half a bar, E for half a bar, and then A for a bar. And we're going to do that 3 times, and that's how we finish it. So let me play that last chorus. I'll do it through once, and then the new chorus end or the outro for you, starting on the D. A, D, A, D, A, E, and A. And that's the whole song. And that one's getting a little bit harder now because we're doing the 2 counts with the down, down, up. But again, just take your time. If you're struggling with that, you have the A, down, down, up, down, E, down, up, and back to A. So you can just work on that first. A half a bar, E half a bar, and then back to A for a bar. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down. That gives you the whole song there. So now let's try Throw Your Arms Around Me by Hunters and Collectors. This is a great Australian song. If you don't know it, check it out. So for our intro, we're going to start with A for a bar, D for a bar, same strumming pattern as before, and E for 2 bars. And that's our intro, so let's play that now. A, D, E for 2 bars. And that's your intro. Now the verse, we have A for a bar, D for a bar, A for a bar, and E for a bar. And we do that 3 times. And then on the 4th time we play A for a bar, D for a bar, A for a bar, D for a bar, and E for a bar. So let me play that verse for you now. I'll just do that first line through once, starting on the A. D, A, E. Next line, A, D, A, D, and E. And that's our verse. From there we go into our chorus, and that's just A for a bar, D for a bar, A for a bar, and E for a bar. And then back to A for a bar, D for a bar, and E for 2 bars. And that's your chorus there, so let me play that through for you, starting on the A. D, A, E, A, D, and E for 2 bars. And that's your chorus. From there you just go back to the intro, same as before, verse same as before, chorus again. Then once you've done the chorus, we're just going to play the A for a bar, D for a bar, and the E for 2 bars, and we're going to do that right to the end of the song. So A for a bar, D for a bar, E for 2 bars. And just keep repeating that, A, D, E for 2 bars. And that's the whole song there. Great song. If you don't know it, check it out. And I think maybe Pearl Jam did a live version of it also, so you can check that out. Okay, let's try Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. Again, we're going to have our capo on the 1st fret for this one, so we're just moving all our chords up 1 fret. So we're just going to start on the A. We're going to play that once and hold, and we've got that lead intro coming through there. And then we go to the D and we do that for 2 bars, and this is playing and the lead playing over the top of it. So 2 bars on the D, 2 bars on the A, 1 bar on the E, 1 bar on the D, and 2 bars on the A. So that's before the singing kicks in, so let me play that for you up to speed, starting on the D, 2 bars. A, E, D, and A. Then we're going to start on the A chord, and we're going to repeat this whole section right through to the end of the song, so we're going to play A for 4 bars. D for 2 bars, A for 2 bars, E for 2 bars, and A for 2 bars. And then we just go back to the A for 4 bars again, and that repeats right to the end of the song. So let me play that part for you up to speed with our standard strumming pattern: down, down, up, down, up. Again, if it's going too fast, just slow it right down and get used to those changes. D, 2 bars. A, 2 bars. E, 2 bars. Back to A for 2 bars. Then we repeat A again, 4 bars. 3, 4, D, 2 bars. And that just keeps going all the way through to the end of the song. So again, fairly easy one. It can be tricky getting the strumming really fast when you first start, so just slow down. Or if that's even too hard with the strumming pattern, just do a strum on each beat there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you feel confident with that, go back to your strumming pattern there. So now let's try Wild Thing by the Trogs. Now we're just going to do all down strums with this one. So it can be really tricky when you're first starting out to change your chords to get the strumming pattern they're using, but it'll sound like the song anyway. So we're going to start on the A and do 2 down strums. D, 2 down strums, and they're quicker. And then the E, we're going to do 4 down strums and then another 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So there's a stop after that 4. So we play that up to speed for you. And that's the intro to the song. Then we go to the verse, and we're going to look at the intro and the verse. It's different chords as it moves on. So we have A, and we do this the same, 2 down strums, D, 2 down strums, E, 2 down strums, and D, 2 down strums. And we do that 3 times. Now each time we do the D, the down strums are a little bit quicker, so I'll do that slowly first. And again. And up to speed, starting on the A. Once we've done that 3 times, we go back to the A again, D, and the E the same we did in the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And that gives you the intro and the verse. Let me just play the verse a couple of times and then that last part there. And that's the intro and the verse there. Now let's have a look at I'm a Believer by the Monkees. So with this song, they are in a different key, but we've just made it a little bit easier so we can just use the E, A and D chords. So for our intro, we're going to do A for a bar, E for a bar, and A for 2 bars. And we do that through 2 times. Let's try that up to speed. A, E, A. And we do that again. E, A for 2 bars. And then we go to the D, 1 bar. A for 1 bar. D for 1 bar. A for 1 bar. D for 1 bar, A for 1 bar, and then E for a bar, and then the second bar, strum and stop for a bar there. So let me play that for you now, starting on the D. D, A, D, A, D, A, and E. And then for our chorus, we're going to do our 2-count strumming pattern like we did in our other song, down, down, up. So we're going to start A, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, and then A for a bar, down, down, up, down. So let's do that. We do that 4 times. Let me do it slowly for you. And up to speed. And then it does change after that a little bit. So that gives you the intro, the verses and the choruses to that song. Again, think of these as exercises. We're just practicing different tempos to play the D, the A and the E, and changing them in different orders. So D to A, E to A, D to E, and swapping them around there. Different timings, different patterns, different strumming there. So let's do another. Now let's have a look at what I like about you. We're going to have the capo on the 1st fret. Now we're going to leave out the intro here, and we're just going to do our half counts again, down, down, up, or our half bars there. So starting on the E, down, down, up, A, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, back to A, down, down, up. And it does that 22 times. Now it does actually skip a little bit between the D and the A. For practice, just getting used to doing the down, down, up on each chord. So let's do that slowly. E. Get a little bit faster as we're playing as well. So you can work on that one. That's a hard one because they're changing the chords fast there again, and it's all just our down, down, up for this one. And we do that like 22 times through the song, so it's not too hard once you've played it and get it up to speed. Now let's try Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. So this time we're going to have the capo on the 4th fret. So again, we play our chords exactly the same, just pretend that the capo is like the nut of the guitar there. So our A chord will actually be up on the 6th fret there instead of back on the 2nd fret there. Now we're also going to do this one with all down strums, and we're going to count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that'll be 1 bar. All down strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now because it's going quite quick, you don't have to hit all the strings. You can just hit sort of the A to the B string if you like there. So we're going to have our intro, and we're going to do 4 bars of A, all with our down strums counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then for our verse, we're going to do another 4 bars of A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're going to do 2 bars of D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to A. 2 bars. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's our verse. We do that through 2 times. Let me play that once for you, starting on the A. 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, and the D 2 bars. Back to the A. And that's our verse. Then for our chorus we go E 1 bar, D 1 bar, and A 2 bars. And we do that twice. Let me run through that chorus just for you quickly now. Starting on the E, D, A 2 bars. Then from there it just goes back to the verse, back to the chorus, back to the verse, back to the chorus. So remember this one, all down strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's 1 bar. So not too hard once you get used to doing those down strums. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do Secondhand News by Fleetwood Mac. We're just going to do the down, down, down part. So we're going to start on the A, but this time our strumming pattern's going to change. We're going to do a down, 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 down. It's quite quick the way they're doing this. That'll be 1 bar. So we do A for 1 bar, D for 1 bar, A for 1 bar. Now we're going to do E for half a bar, so just do that as half as long. So down, 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 down. A for half a bar, down, 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 down. And we do that through 2 times. So we play that up to speed for you. This could be a little tricky. Start slow with the strumming pattern if you need to. That one's a little bit harder now. We've got to go quite fast with our right hand or our strumming hand there. So that gives you 10 more songs to practice. Now we've got our D in there. So with part 5 and part 6, you've now got 20 songs to practice and 10 songs with D. So we should be coming pretty good at changing between the A and the E now. A little bit harder now that we've thrown in the D there. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Songs and lessons every week, and I'll see you soon.